In this video, I'm going to introduce you to simultaneous equations. So after this video, you should be able to create simultaneous equations, and if you can do that and solve the ones that you've created, then it will make this whole topic really easy. So with simultaneous equations, we have two unknown variables that we have to work out what they are. They're normally x and y. It could be a and b, it could be any letters really, but we normally use x and y in these. So to create two equations in x and y, we have to give x and y values. Now this is going to be the answer to the question. So if we can start by creating the answer and then solve to get to the answer we know are correct. So let's say x is 2 and y is 3. They get a little bit more difficult if x is a fraction and y is a fraction, and we'll do that in the second part of this video. So to make up these equations, we just pick any amount of x's. What about 2x plus 3y equals something? So what does it equal? 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, so this one is going to give us 13. And if we make up another one, let's say 3x plus 2y, let's reverse it. 3x plus 2y equals, we're going to get 3 2's are 6, and 2 3's are 6, so we're going to get 12. So how do we solve these simultaneous equations? So the first thing that we need to have, so this is the question now that you will see in an exam. So how do we solve them? So we need the same number of x's or y's, and then what we do is we add the two lines together to cancel the x's or y's, so we're left with one variable. So to cancel them, we'd need a plus 3y and a negative 3y, or a plus 12y and a negative 12y, and so on with the x's. So in this case, if I multiply my top line by 3, I'm going to get 6x plus 9y equals 39. So now I need to make this into 6x. So how do I make this into 6x? I need to multiply this line by 2. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to multiply it by minus 2, because then I'm going to get minus 6x. I'm going to get minus 4y, and I'm going to get minus 24. Just multiply everything by 2 and change the sign. So now if I bring these two lines together, or add these two lines, 6x minus 6x, these cancel, leaving me with one variable. And my variable is 9y, take away 4y, which is 5y, and 39, take away 24, which is 15. And back to basic algebra from early in first year, probably when you did this, 15, if 5y is 15, y is 3, or 15 over 5, which is equal to 3. So now we've solved for y, and you can see here it's the same as what we started with. Now we need to solve for x. So just take any of the equations. I'm just going to take the first one here. You can take any of the equations that appear. So we've got 2x plus 3y equals 13, but we've gotten y to be 3. So 2x plus 9 is 13. So something plus 9 is 13, so the 2x has to be 4. 4 plus 9 is 13. Or bring the 9 across and change the sign. So x, you can see 2 2's are 4, x is equal to 2. So we have our answer, x is equal to 2. Up here we got y is equal to 3. So you've formed the question. You then go and solve the question to make sure you get the same two answers. And if you do that, you'll become an expert in simultaneous equations. Okay, let's go on and make up two that are fractions to make these a little bit trickier. So what fraction are you thinking? Let's say x is a half, and let's say y is 2/3. So what if we have 5x plus, I'm just making up random numbers, 6y. Okay, what's 5x? 5x is 5 over 2, so just do a little bit of rough work over here. 5 halves, just 5 over 2, and 6y is 6 times 2 over 3. So that's 12 over 3, which is 4. So just a little bit of rough work over here. So I have 5 over 2 and 4. So 2.5 and 4 is 6.5. So 6.5 or 13 over 2. So let's make up another one. Let's say 2x plus 3y equals 2x, 2 halves are 1. So I've got a 1. And 3 by 2 over 3. 3 by 2 over 3 is equal to 2. And 1 plus 2 is 3. So I'd recommend anytime you get a question like this where there's a fraction and we're dealing with algebra, let's get rid of the 2 on the bottom. How do we get rid of a 2 on the bottom? We multiply the top by 2. So we have to multiply this whole line by 2 to begin this question. 10x plus 12y is equal to 2 by 13 over 2. If you're not sure, just write it down like this. 2 times 13 over 2 is just going to give us 13. So now I have this equation. We could number them if you wanted, but I have this equation here and this equation here. How do I get the same number of x's or y's? Well, I can multiply it by 5 to get 10x. That will give me the same number of x's, or I can multiply it by 4 to give 12y. Either one will work. I'm going to choose the x, so I'm going to multiply not just by 5, but by minus 5. So this equation by minus 5. Minus 10x minus 15y equals minus 15. So we're going to end up with the x's cancelling when we bring these lines together. So we're going to get minus 3y is equal to minus 2, which is the same as 3y equals 2, or y is equal to 2 over 3, which is what you gave me at the start, or we created at the start here. And then to solve for x, take any of the equations. I'm not going to take the first in this line because it has a fraction in it. I'm going to take this one here, 2x plus 3y. 2x plus 3y, y is 2 over 3, equals 3. So I get 2x plus 2 equals 3. So that means that 1 plus 2 is 3, so 2x has to be 1. So x is 1 over 2. So before going on to the next lesson, which is Junior Cert Algebra 10, I want you to try and do a couple of these. One where you have whole numbers and one where you have fractions. And these are a little bit time consuming. So give 10 minutes to each of these questions. For the next 20 minutes, try and create your own simultaneous equations questions in 2 variables in x and y.